Welcome to Cast Predicts Week 6, the time of the week where we take a look at the games, the odds of those games, and I predict who will win these games. Now, we're on NFL Mobile right now, and we're going to look at the games of this week in Week 6. Alright, and I have predicted all of these on a piece of paper, so that's what I'll be looking at. Okay. The Denver Broncos at the San Diego Chargers. The Broncos are a 3.5-point favorite in this game. This game is a Thursday night game on CBS. I predict the Broncos probably roll. I think that their defense is tremendous. Trevor Siemian's done a pretty good job at running that offense, but I think Paxton Lynch is starting this week. I'm pretty sure. So we'll see how he does in his first NFL start. Let's see. We've got the San Francisco 49ers at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are a 7.5-point favorite in this game. The Niners are starting Colin Kaepernick. So I fully expect Tyrod Taylor and the Buffalo Bills to pick up the win here. Wouldn't be surprised if it's by a big margin. Philadelphia Eagles are at the Washington Redskins. The Eagles are at 3-1. The Redskins are at 3-2. Carson Wentz has looked very, very impressive so far in the NFL. Even in the loss, I thought he didn't look terrible. He didn't look as bad as some of the quarterbacks who won last week. I predict Philadelphia is gonna take the win over Washington. Although Washington beat my Ravens last week, so their defense is pretty good. Philadelphia were 2.5-point favorites also, by the way. We have the Cleveland Browns at the Tennessee Titans. The Browns are 0-5 this year, which should tell the entire story. Tennessee's 2-3. Tennessee is a touchdown favorite. I think Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans get the win. They go to 3-3. I think the Browns go to 0-6. We have my Baltimore Ravens at the New York Giants. The Giants are 3-point favorites. Baltimore coming off a 2-game losing streak to Oakland 2 weeks ago by 1 point, and then last week to the Washington Redskins. I predict the Ravens will pick up the win here. Again, Mark Trestman's gone, our offensive coordinator. Marty Mornhinweg is taking over. So I fully predict the Ravens will come out with some fire because they know that it's do or die at this point. I mean, when your best player at this point is Justin Tucker, I mean he is definitely the best kicker in the league at this point. Okay. So Baltimore wins that game. The Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. These odds, or lack thereof, are completely even. Carolina is 1-4 this year. I don't know what happened between this year and last, but they're not looking good. And the Saints, they have a good offense for the most part. Drew Brees throws for a lot of yards, but ultimately their defense is still bad. I think Carolina rebounds this week and picks up the win to go to 2-4. The Saints will go to 1-4. Now, I'm not sure. I didn't read up on if Cam Newton's going to play or not. That remains to be seen. If he doesn't, I predict New Orleans is probably going to win. If Cam plays, I fully expect them to win. Maybe not as soundly as some people think, but I think if Cam plays, then Carolina wins. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Chicago Bears. The Bears are a 2.5-point favorite in this game. Again, just like the Panthers and the Saints, the Jacksonville Jaguars are 1-3, and the Bears are 1-4. That being said, I like Jacksonville, what they're doing right now. So I'm going to take Jacksonville in this game. I really liked the combination of Bortles, Allen Hurns. I think that's a very dynamic duo that they have in Jacksonville. All right. Los Angeles Rams at the Detroit Lions. The Rams are 3-2. Detroit's 2-3, but Detroit has a 3.5 point favorite in this game. If you remember, LA has they're not favorites simply because if you remember that game against the 49ers when Carlos Hyde went off, they're a team 3-2, but they really don't seem like they should be 3-2, if that's to be understood. But I think LA is going to win this game. Detroit picked up Justin Forsett, so expect to see him a little bit, I imagine. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I absolutely hate, are 4-1 at the Miami Dolphins at 1-4. Pittsburgh is a 7.5 point favorite, which isn't surprising. Yeah, they continue to look good, other than the game against the Eagles a couple weeks ago, where they lost like 34-3. I predict Pittsburgh wins that game. Let's see. Let's go down here. Let's see. What do we have next? We have. What have we not done yet? Okay, I bunched these up quite a bit. But next on my list is Cincinnati at New England. New England's an 8.5 point favorite in this game. Cincinnati's 2-3, looked very, very bad against Dallas last week. New England, they have Tom Brady back now. I think New England probably rolls to a victory easily. Let's see. We got Kansas City and Oakland. Oakland's at 4-1, one of the most surprising factors, although Derek Carr has had a lot of upside, I think, since he's been drafted. Kansas City just doesn't seem to have a lock-in on offense, and their defense it's not what was expected this year. So the odds are even. That feels weird to say, but the odds are completely even. Although I think Oakland takes the win. Let's see, where's the Atlanta at Seattle? Two evenly matched teams, pretty much. Atlanta at 4-1, Seattle at 3-1. Although Seattle is a 6.5 point favorite, I think Atlanta looked really impressive last week. I think they've really impressed this year all out, so I'm picking Atlanta in that game. Let's see, where's the next one? See, some of these, I mixed up some of these really bad. Next we have Dallas and Green Bay. Green Bay is a 4 point favorite. Again, evenly matched. Dak Prescott's been really impressive so far, although Jerry Jones says he's sticking with Tony Romo. I don't know. I think you need to keep Dak Prescott there. He's been doing very, very well for himself. But the Packers are 4 point favorites. I'm going to take Green Bay just because I think Aaron Rodgers is maybe not as good as he was last year or 2 years ago, but he's definitely still got a lot in him. Next we have Indianapolis and Houston. Houston are 3 point favorites. I haven't paid much attention to Indianapolis this year with Andrew Luck. I don't know exactly what their offensive defense look like, but Houston with Brock Osweiler, it's what was expected. I mean, they could not have expected Brock Osweiler would be a top tier quarterback for them, but they do have J.J. Watt, so they have that going for them. I'm picking Houston in that game. Next we have the Jets. Let's see. Yeah, the Jets and Cardinals. The Jets are at 1-4. Cardinals are at 2-3. Cardinals are 7.5-point favorites. Apparently, Carson Palmer is cleared concussion protocol, so he may play this weekend. I think if he does, then they definitely win. I picked the Cardinals in that game. And that's the last game. Buys this week, as you can see, if I scroll, Minnesota and Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay needs it. Okay. Now we're gonna look at some bullet points here from the games and from the teams. We're gonna go to the stories here, and then we're gonna write down what I got. Let's see. The Cap's gonna start for the 49ers. Obviously, the Lions snagged Forsett off of waivers, which we talked about. A couple of new things here. It's reported on, I forget, maybe it was ESPN or USA Today maybe, that said the Nevada Senate would fund a stadium in Las Vegas. So they have the go on that. Obviously, we talked about Jerry Jones sticking with Tony Romo. Again, I think you need to, Dak Prescott's been really impressive. So I think you need to keep him, in your wing, because I don't think you need to go back to Romo with all he was doing. I think they're only going to go downhill from there. Obviously, we talked about the Ravens firing Mark Trestman and putting in Marty Mornhinweg. A couple new, actually all three of these are stories we didn't talk about yet. Greg Hardy, the former Cowboy, the former Panther, who was convicted of domestic violence and on all kinds of on the field and off the field problems. Apparently, he's pursuing an MMA career. How ironic that he pursues MMA and he beats his wife. That's not making light of domestic violence, people. Okay, that's me stating facts. The Patriots and the Vikings topped the power rankings this week. Remember, the Vikings are on a bye. The Vikings have looked very impressive, but the Vikings are on a bye. The Patriots play the Bengals, so we'll see. We got the former Panther corner. I don't know his first name, but I know his last name's Ben Wickery. I always thought his name was Ben Wickery, but it's not. He was picked up through waivers to the Dolphins. And that was something interesting, because I thought I was kind of surprised when he was released from the Panthers, but somebody picked him up, and he'll be a good asset to the Dolphins, I think, with that defense, along with everybody they have over there, because they have a good secondary. Now the last story here is on ESPN. I think it was a few days ago, maybe. Martellus Bennett commented on some show or radio show or podcast of some kind, and the host asked him why Chicago lost so many games when he was with them. And Martellus Bennett goes out to say that Chicago players were bitches. That's exactly what it said. I don't know if it's on here yet, if it's on NFL Mobile. I don't think it is. I wish it was so I can read the whole quote. It doesn't look like it is. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I go to add favorite team and maybe go to Chicago. Maybe. Maybe not. The Bears placed Kevin White on IR for a fractured fibula. It doesn't look like they have it on here, but he basically called them bitches, is what he did. And we're gonna you know, that's just something that's not surprising. Being that the Bears and Martellus Bennett, is he sour? I don't understand why he would come out and say that. But those were week 6, guys. And I think this was going to be a good week of football. There's a lot of good games. Atlanta and Seattle, Dallas and Green Bay is a good game. Let's see what else. I think Carolina, New Orleans is going to be a good game. Baltimore and the Giants. Remember the last time the Ravens played the Giants was their Super Bowl year, and Baltimore dominated them. I think Philadelphia and Washington is probably going to be a good game. The Broncos and San Diego may be. I mean, it may be a great game. And so, those were the predictions, guys. I'll go over and recap the week on next Tuesday. It's going to be my schedule. I'll do predictions every Wednesday, right before a Thursday game. And then I'll recap it on Tuesday after Monday Night Football. And we'll do it that way. Also, we've got I'll be doing some mobile games too, and see how that turns out. So this is the first prediction video. I was gonna do it for week 1, but I didn't have the equipment to do it, and now I don't really have the equipment. I'm just using an app to record it and live stream it. So that'll be that. Okay. It looks like that'll be all. Those were their predictions. Do you like what you see? Pound that thumbs up and subscribe button like the legend that you are. Tune in to the Week 6 recap on Tuesday. Cheers.